On this edition of CPS 360, storm drains get a new look, Rockbridge starts the year with a sophomore quarterback, and a Columbia student commits to Mizzou. CPS 360 starts now.
Yo, what's up, CBS 360? This is will.i.am.
Welcome to CPS 360. I'm Marissa Jackman. When it comes to making art, downtown Columbia has always been a hotspot for creative pieces. Here's MC Burns with the latest on an unexpected canvas located just under our feet.
The downtown parks are used by many of Columbia's residents. Almost all of them have creeks, but it's not always water that flows through them.
In the city of Columbia, when you pour old house paint or wash your car in the driveway, and all those suds that carry all the fertilizer and the grass clippings and cigarette butts and that concoction of chemicals that works their way into the storm drain system go to one place, a local creek or stream.
Storm drains are located everywhere around the city, from your neighborhood to local parks. Columbia's downtown hosts many festivals, generating a lot of fun and a lot of trash.
Thumper Entertainment came and was looking for an opportunity to green up their festival and do something different. I proposed the storm drain murals.
The Storm Drain Project is trying to bring awareness to the rising issue of litter. 9 drains are being worked on, stretching from Shakespeare's to Flat Branch Park. Local artists are doing their best to try to display the message in a creative way.
I had done a sketch of a tiger some time back, and then I adapted it and looked at some others, and sort of became like a tiger fantasy creature, dragon type thing. And the idea was that it would represent an unusual animal, but still an animal that might be hurt by pollution.
Though the drains have not yet been officially unveiled, artists have noticed an interest coming from local residents.
People would just walk through that area all the time, and people would go away and come back, they'd come back another day and just visit with you. And you would explain to them, or I would explain to them rather, the importance of the storm drains and keeping them clean.
Through the Storm Drain Project, awareness is being brought to our environment. Local artists are taking a creative spin to help the issue, and everyone seems to be taking notice. For CPS 360, I'm MC Burns.
From artwork to achievement, Kaylee Wilson has the story on a new project aiming to change the way students feel about learning.
When are we going to use this outside of school? This question is frequently asked among students all across the United States, but Benton Elementary School is attempting to change the way students feel about learning through the STEM program.
The STEM program is, it's not really changing what we teach, it's more changing how we teach and how we approach our instruction, but it's really putting the context in for our students. So instead of learning skills in isolation, what we're doing is we're putting them in the context of science or math or engineering. So we're trying to really give them the reasons why they're learning math or why they're learning these science concepts.
Although this is only the second year the program has been held, STEM specialist Heather Lang says positive results have already begun to show.
You can totally tell a difference in our students' interest and engagement. And talking to some of the presenters today, they were just saying you can tell the kids have been asking questions and have been talking about science and all of those concepts, because the questions they're asking are not your just basic questions.
With teachers and coordinators giving the program praise, the only critics left to please are the students themselves.
My favorite station was the chemicals because they changed colors, so you put different chemicals in. It was the one with the robot.
The robot? What'd you do with the robot?
It was like a basketball one where it could pick up the basketballs and shoot the basketballs. It could pick up the basketball and shoot the basketball.
Cool. Do you like all these stations? Through different activities, the students have learned the reasons behind the subjects being taught and have had fun while doing so. For CPS 360, I'm Kaylee Wilson.
It's always good to see kids enjoying their educational experience. Now we have Isabel Bouchard telling us all about the changes that will be happening next year when the freshman classes move into the high school buildings.
Walking into a big high school and being the youngest and smallest kid, for some is exciting, others, it's their worst nightmare. With the new high school Battle High, the junior highs are being taken out of the equation, giving the 8th graders the challenge of tackling high school next year.
I don't think they've quite got the whole concept that we're going to go to high school. I think they are still here just anticipating junior high, and I don't think they've decided yet that high school is their next step.
Not only is this a big change for the upcoming freshmen, but will also be affecting the juniors' senior year next year.
I think it'll be kind of crazy because it's like our senior year, you know, our last year in high school, so it'll be kind of weird because like we have to include not only a new sophomore class, but a new freshman one too, so it'll be, I don't know, kind of chaotic a little bit, maybe.
I think the senior class plays a huge role next year because they will be really the legacy class, and they will be the first senior class to ever welcome freshmen to Rockbridge High School. And most senior classes just bring in the sophomores, but next year's senior class will be bringing in the freshman and sophomore class. So it'll be a very important year for Rockbridge and for the leadership of our senior class.
Some are worried that the traditional ways of Rockbridge High School will change because of the freshmen, but the faculty members say this is not the case.
I think there'll be an adjustment period, as you could imagine, but I really think that between the work our teachers are doing to get ready and our student body is always so supportive, I think they'll really make it, our student body will really make it a welcoming place and do whatever it takes to help these freshmen feel welcome at Rockbridge.
Although Rockbridge students are concerned, current 8th graders in Columbia, Missouri public schools will be the most nervous about this life-changing transition.
A little nervous, but I'm excited to get out of the heat from Jeff.
Really nervous just because I'll be going to a new school, to kind of a bigger school, and I'll be going to high school, so.
Although next year's addition may change the school's dynamic, it won't affect the fact that Rockbridge remains a community. For CPS 360, I'm Isabel Bouchard.
Speaking of buildings, 2 junior high schools are still without air conditioning, which caused problems as the year began. I headed to West and Jeff Junior High School to get a better idea of what problems are being faced. Here at West Junior High School, things haven't been as normal as they look. The school day will end at 2:45, but for a period of 8 days, classes were shortened and the day ended at 11:30 because of issues caused by heat. Now that the schedule is returning to normal and cool weather is arriving, the only question that remains is if teachers, learning, and students themselves can get back into the school routine. On August 8th, just 1 week before classes began, a letter was sent out to parents and guardians of junior high school students warning them of the potential for early release because of heat-related issues. At that point, it was just a prediction, but as the year kicked off, the warning itself became a reality.
Due to the fact that West Junior and Jeff Junior do not have air conditioning, and we've had an unseasonably warm August into September, we have had 8 early heat release days.
Because of the lack of proper cooling systems installed in both schools, the heat issue grew from a temperature problem to a safety hazard, which led to the majority of the cancellations.
And really, it does become a safety issue to have kids that, and teachers as well, who are overheated and can't concentrate, and certainly we don't want there to be heat exhaustion or any of those types of things that could potentially happen when you're in a hot environment like that. People forget the age of these buildings. Jeff Junior is over 100 years old, West Junior is over 50 years old, and so those buildings were not built to be conducive to airflow and some of those issues. Jeff Junior's got that 3rd-story tower, and so those are challenges for us to be able to have a good learning environment.
Now that the kids are heading back to full days of school, some students are concerned they may not be able to readjust and pick up where they left off.
Yeah, I was worried that we might have more homework and it would be harder to focus and just get readjusted to the work and not being able to just get out early.
Despite some student worries, West Junior High Principal Sandra Logan has no apprehension about the rest of the school year.
Our students are really flexible. We just communicate very well. The teachers help them to know what the schedule is and remind them what the schedule is. but we had almost as many, early release days as we did full days. But I think everybody's back to normal.
With the completion of the 2012-2013 school year also comes a new chapter for both buildings, where plans are in the making to fix the AC systems to avoid similar situations where students are forced to miss school.
We are working on the bid proposals to begin the air conditioning projects at both West and Jeff. Our goal is to have those bids approved by the Board of Education in October, and then move forward from there as far as setting the timeline for when we can complete each one of those projects. We are hoping to have one building completed this coming summer, and then the next building completed the following summer. Keep in mind that these are both very challenging projects. Each one of them will be estimated $3 to $4 million to complete each one of these projects.
Both schools have yet to touch the 6 built-in school days for inclement weather, meaning they are still ahead when it comes to extending the school schedule. And with a little faith from the principals, teachers, and those dedicated to fixing the air systems, this school year may just breeze by. For CPS 360, I'm Marissa Jackman. Next, we have Alyssa Pico with the details on anxiety that the new sophomores are facing.
The first day of high school always brings up anxiety and questions in students. How am I going to find my classes? What if I get lost? What is block scheduling? But as the first day passes, these anxieties fade, and students realize what they should have known before going to school the first day. This is no different for Rockbridge sophomores. Some of these unknowns, though, are not anxieties, but rather pleasant surprises.
Well, block schedule, it's a lot to get used to. It makes the day go by faster, though, and the hallways are fun. Like, you get to use your cell phones and, talk to friends, and you have a lot of passing time.
Senior pranks, I'm excited to see stuff like that happen, I guess. I mean, it seems like it'd be kind of funny. And the seniors themselves, they all seem like, as a group, they're kind of helpful and helping you get around the school. I expected them to be a lot more, maybe just tell you, ask for some places, they tell you the wrong place, you get lost, but they're a lot more helpful.
Freedom with responsibility, being the legacy of Rockbridge, is also something that sophomores are welcomed with. Policies at the junior high schools do not allow cell phones and include strict rules about passing periods. Sophomores got to discover that there is a much more permissive policy at Rockbridge.
None of us really knew how much freedom we were actually going to have. We knew we were allowed to use our cell phones and stuff, but we didn't know that West have the sweeping policy, and they just kind of trust you to be on class on time, and they just kind of leave everything to you, and we never really had a good idea about that.
Another new and exciting opportunity for sophomores is being able to drive. However, with the lack of space in the lot, sophomores are required to park in Sophomore Alley, which disappoints many.
I think that kids don't know how to park very well, and so I end up having to, there's a lot of open spaces in between the parking spots, so if we all knew how to park, I could have been a lot closer to the school, and it's a long walk.
Getting used to Rockbridge and being a sophomore can be complicated, but as the school year goes on, the anxieties fade into the background. Once sophomores get into the flow, it's very simple to get where they need to go. For CPS 360, I'm Alyssa Pico.
Now it's time for CPS 360 Sports. Up first in our sports features is the rundown on the sophomore quarterback, Logan Tweehouse. Laurel Critchfield has the details.
Looking around the Rockbridge football field on game night, you see a lot of wannabes. Kids crowd the fence line just waiting for their chance to be Bruins. You've got future cheerleaders, Bruin girls, star football players. That chance comes earlier for some than others, like sophomore starting quarterback Logan Tweehouse.
Going into the year, I kind of knew that was the next in line, so I just kind of prepared myself for that.
As a sophomore, Tweehouse is younger and less experienced than the majority of his teammates, but he's stepped up to the position.
Being a sophomore, the most you can really do is obviously lead by example, which he definitely does. He knows his plays, he works hard, and you can still you can still get a taste of leadership from him even though he's still 15 and has braces.
Leading teammates up to 3 years older, Tweehouse has taken on a challenge. And with that challenge comes quite a bit of pressure.
In the paper and everything, they compare him to Logan Gray and Chase Patton. And so being compared to those two guys is pretty crazy. Those are big shoes to fill. But so far, he's done a good job.
With both Gray and Patton starting as sophomores at Rockbridge and going on to play at D1 colleges, Tweehouse is under a lot of pressure. Yet the most important pressure is the one you wouldn't expect.
I put enough pressure on myself. I don't really focus on any of the pressure they're putting on me.
Using this pressure, Tweehouse strives to become even better. In fact, he strives to be like his idol, Tom Brady.
I just seen how young he was coming into the league, how many people doubted him, and how low he went in the draft, and how good he's done so far in his career.
Logan Tweehouse should not be underrated either. With a 3-0 record, the Bruins appear to be ready for a winning season, with Tweehouse front and center. For CPS 360, I'm Laurel Critchfield.
Now we have Ashton Day with the story of 3 volleyball seniors at Hickman High School.
For 3 Hickman seniors, volleyball is more than just a game of sets and serves. It's the basis of a friendship.
I remember back in the 9th grade, that's when we all first started playing together. And then I was like, we got along with them, but we're never really that good of friends. But since we've been playing together since freshman year, we're all like best friends now. Like we hang out all the time.
We've become a lot closer through senior year because we have to do all this stuff together, like design the shirts and all that. And so it's really brought us together a lot more.
Our friendship has definitely gotten stronger. We're really close and we just depend on each other and we can tell each other anything.
Playing the sport for so long has created more excitement for their senior year.
Whenever we win a game, we always do the strawberry shortcake, gooseberry pie cheer. And at the end of the cheer, we say we're the QPs of HHS, but since we're seniors, we could say we're the seniors.
Being a senior adds extra pressure to the season.
Coach always reminds us that. Like every time I say anything that's maybe not perfect, she's like, Chloe, you're a leader. So like, yeah, it's definitely like everyone looks up to us. So we definitely always have to be like really driven and really focused in leading our team.
I still haven't gotten used to it yet because it's still, I don't know, it's still weird to me. But I like how all the girls, I can tell that they look up to me and value my opinion and stuff. So it's really cool to see how much of an impact I have on everyone else.
Senior night seems to be the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, but each girl has mixed emotions about what they will be feeling when they walk across the court.
I'm probably going to be in shock that it's my last season of volleyball. It's going to be really sad, but it's going to be a good moment.
I'm going to be bawling. I'm going to be crying so hard. Just, I don't know, it's just going to be hard. I'm going to miss everyone because like all my friends like from high school are on my volleyball team basically, and so I'm going to miss them all so much.
I feel like I'm just going to burst into laughter, like, because I won't be able to take it seriously and I'll just be like, what, I'm a senior? I don't know, it'll be surreal probably for me.
As their final year of high school volleyball wraps up, these 3 seniors know they've set an example of what it means to be a team. For CPS 360, I'm Ashton Day.
Brett Weiss will now bring us the story of Maddie Kaiser, a senior tennis player at Rockbridge.
Last year, the Rockbridge girls tennis team had quite the season as they went undefeated and won their 8th state title. But one key player from that team had quite the following offseason.
Last year, after first semester in December, I went to New Braunfels, Texas, and I trained at a tennis academy called John Newcomb Tennis Ranch. And I was there from the end of December to the beginning of June. And then I came back to Columbia, and I trained here in Columbia all summer. And since I've been back, I went and I did Rockbridge tryouts, and I made the team. And then Tuesday after school during our practice, I was told that I was ineligible by Misha because of a transfer. And I don't really know exactly the rules that are that they're saying, but basically I'm eligible for JV but not for varsity.
Maddie broke one of Misha's rules involving transfers, which unfortunately has cost Maddie most of her senior year.
It's a transfer bylaw. The number is 3.10.4.I. That's the bylaw. And it's called the standard waiver. And basically the issue is a student who moves away, transfers schools without moving with their family. There's a 365-day, the previous 365 days when you move into the district and you didn't necessarily move with your family. Then in the previous 365 days, all of the sports that you were on an eligibility roster for, you have sub-varsity eligibility. And so that came into play with Maddie.
It really sucks just because like it's my senior year, and it would have been different like if I would have gone into the situation knowing that like I wasn't going to be able to play varsity level tennis like my senior year. But I didn't know until Tuesday, and our first match was Wednesday against Hickman. And it's just kind of like not fun because like I can play it, like I can practice with the team and stuff, but at this point like I can't compete with them.
As for the team itself, they have had to play on without Maddie, but miss her presence on and off the court.
Ability is kind of self-explanatory. She's really good. She's our number 2. Well, she would have been our number 2 on varsity, so she just gets us closer to state and winning and stuff like that. And for the team, she's just fun to be around. She can always laugh with us.
Obviously, the show has to go on, but as far as our chances to make something special happen this year, I felt like the odds became significantly greater. So it was a blow, to say the least. But as a coach, I've got to try and get the best out of the people we have and try and get people moving forward and thinking about being positive and what we can get done. But I was definitely disappointed and saddened to hear that very surprising news because she's an important part of our potential success.
Luckily for Maddie, Coach Loeb, and the girls' tennis team, Misha fully reinstated Maddie for the remainder of the year.
It's been really long and like frustrating, but now that it's over, it's well worth it, and I'm excited. In the beginning, I was more of like, I was just really disappointed in the way that like things had played out. And then as time went on, I just got more and more frustrated because I wanted to be able to play, and I wasn't really sure what was going to happen. It was getting closer and closer to the end of the season, and I was missing more and more matches. But now that's all done, it's just like relieving to have it all finished with.
Coach Loeb and the tennis team are getting prepared to defend their state title, especially since their ace is back on the court. For CPS 360, I'm Brett Weiss.
Another senior using sports to change their life is AJ Logan. Brad Meister has the details.
Some students want to pursue their dreams of going on to college. Some students' goals are more meaningful than others. For AJ Logan, his dream has always been to play football for the Missouri Tigers, and his dream has become reality.
Basically, I just went to the recruiting lunch, and we were in there, and some of the coaches came up and were talking to me, and then my chaperone took me up to watch the Tiger Walk, and then we watched the Tiger Walk, and then we went in the training complex and watched this video, and then Coach Pico pulled me aside and talked to me, and then he offered me a scholarship, and I committed on the spot.
With his commitment to Mizzou, a dream has been met, and now his focus can turn towards a state title.
His attitude has been everything for him. He's really remade himself as a player and a person through his work ethic and through having some core values and some standards for himself, and I think that's important for every young man, and he understands that and has kind of lived up to those things in the time that he's been here, and the result is obviously a major college scholarship to the school of his dreams and an opportunity to continue his career.
With AJ leading the team in sacks and tackles, it makes him an important part on why the Bruins are ranked 3rd in state.
Hopefully we continue to get the same level of production that we've gotten from him. It's really been off the charts to start the season. You don't get too many defensive tackles that get double-digit tackles in games for you, and he's been able to do that for us. It's been really instrumental in us having a pretty effective defense.
Logan said that he wouldn't have been able to earn this opportunity to play for Coach Pinkel if it wasn't for the numerous role models he has had throughout his life. For CPS 360, I'm Brad Meister.
We will finish off this installment of CPS 360 with our game of the month, Rockbridge vs. DeSmet.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Sixth-ranked Rockbridge football opened their season at home on Friday, August 24th against the third-ranked DeSmet Spartans. Here they are getting pumped up and ready. Rockbridge did start out rough with a punt sailing over sophomore punter Joe Barbie's head and getting tackled inside their own 10-yard line. That set up DeSmet for a touchdown, and they were able to take the lead. Quarterback Logan Tweehouse then found Alex Ofadile for a nice catch. Then the DeSmet quarterback had to take off after the Rockbridge defense got some pressure on him. He ran for about 70 yards before he was tripped up by junior Ross Alexander. DeSmet tried to score again, but senior Shelby Wilson deflected the pass, preventing the score. Rockbridge finally got it going during the second half as Tweehouse found junior Zach Reuter for the 70-yard touchdown on the opening series. Later, Tweehouse connected with senior Kenny James as he pulled the ball in for a nice catch. And once again, Zach Reuter got the touchdown, giving Rockbridge the lead. Tweehouse then ran for a gain of about 30 yards and set up Rockbridge for the first and goal. Logan then threw a quick pass to Joe Barbie, who received it for the touchdown. DeSmet tried to get back into the game, trailing late. They threw a deep pass, but it was intercepted by Ross Alexander. And that next DeSmet possession, the ball was intercepted by junior Sabian Cook to save a touchdown and secure the game. Rockbridge then went on to win 20-7. Thanks again for watching CPS 360. We'll see you next month.